guys, a million card tricks here. So yes, I'm finally back from my vacation, and I apologize for being away for so long, but I really do hope that you guys did enjoy the daily uploads from the past couple of weeks. So anyways, guys, the school year has, yes, unfortunately started again. So that means I probably won't be posting as often as I was before, like in the summer. But don't worry, guys, I'm still gonna come out with great, amazing content as often as I can, such as this video right over here. Because this video today, we're gonna be looking at this amazing card trick that I created, and it's gonna be super awesome, super fun to learn, and this is the performance for it right now. So we have the two jokers over here just like this, right? You guys can examine them, and also the deck over here can be completely mixed up and shuffled by the spectator if they would like to shuffle it. So basically the two jokers over here, we're gonna leave them on top of the deck just like this. And basically, if I had a spectator, they could go ahead and select any card in the entire pack. So let's say they go ahead and select this card, the 9 of hearts. Now, in the real performance, I would not want to look at this card, so the spectator would only be able to see this card. So we have the 9 of hearts over here just like this. Basically, we're going to be taking the 9 of hearts and losing it somewhere in the center of the pack. I'm not exactly sure, but as you guys can see, it's like around the center, just like this. So I'm going to go ahead and have the spectator push that card all the way in so it's completely flush and lost in the center of the pack somewhere. So the two jokers, we'll get back to them right over here. So the reason why we have the two jokers is because I'm going to be using the two jokers to basically catch your card from the deck, and we're going to be catching it in between the jokers just like this. So that's basically the purpose for the two jokers over here, all right? So what's going to happen is this. First, I need to be reminded about what your card was again. It was the... what was it? It was the 9 of hearts, right? That was it. So the 9 of hearts. Basically, we're going to be going through the deck, and we're going to be searching for the 9 of hearts, or I'm going to be searching for the 9 of hearts, just very quickly. So I'll try and do this as quickly as I can. So I think it's about 33 cards down. I think I saw it about, oh, maybe 35, sorry. A little miscalculation there. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to try this right now. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Your card. The 9 of hearts, just like that. And yes, that was your card, guys, right? And you guys can go ahead and examine this card as much as you want to. And remember, guys, you could have selected any of these cards, but you guys selected the 9 of hearts over here. So you guys remember at the beginning of the trick, I did promise you something. I did promise you that I would try and catch this card in between the two jokers. So we're gonna try this right now. It might not work out, but let's see. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom. Just like that. Your card sandwiched in between the two jokers. And that is the trick, guys. And now for the tutorial. Alright guys, so here's the tutorial for the trick that you just saw. So I really hope you guys like that performance. I actually had to alter the way that I do the performance for the camera than I would normally do for a real spectator, just because it's really hard to use misdirection in front of the camera because the camera is literally like staring at your hands. So I couldn't do any of the actual moves that I would do in the actual trick, but I'm going to show you guys how to actually perform this to a real spectator that will completely fool them and blow their minds. So this is the tutorial right now. So basically this trick is completely impromptu. All you need is just a nice shuffled deck just like this and just two jokers, and they have to be identical jokers. That is the one thing. These two cards have to be identical jokers. So if you have a deck with identical jokers, you're all set to go. So now once you have two jokers, you are going to pull them out of the deck and you just say, all right, so we're going to use these two jokers here in just a minute. So for now, we'll just leave them here face up on the top. Now you probably noticed in the performance that I did for you in this video, when I was putting the jokers on the deck, I actually took this one and I flipped it over. You guys probably saw that. That is not what the spectator is supposed to see, but I just had to do it for the camera because there's like literally no other way to hide that move. But basically, what's going to be happening is first, you're going to set the two jokers on top of the deck face up, and you're not going to turn them over just yet. You're going to leave them here face up. So now you can spread out the deck and you're going to have them select any card. So you're just going to have them pull out any card they want to. Let's say their card is the 3 of spades. Now this is the perfect opportunity to flip over this joker. So as they're looking at their card, you actually don't want to even look at this card. You're just going to thumb off this joker here and use the joker here to just kind of flip over that second joker. So all you're doing is you're just taking this joker turning it over. That's all you're doing. And you're doing that just under the cover of this joker, just in case anyone else is looking, but just do it very, very secretly as you're turning around just like that. Just do it very simple, and that joker will now be face down, and that is exactly what you want to do. So now you're going to come back, and you're actually going to lift up on that top joker over here, just this top single card, and you're going to catch a little pinky break, all right? So that's all you're going to do. As you turn back around, and now you're going to say, all right, so perfect. Hopefully you memorize the card, and now I'm going to have you replace it in the deck. So go ahead and call out stop anywhere. So now what you're going to do is called a bluff pass. So what you're going to do is you're going to have them call out stop anywhere. As they call out stop, you're going to stop where they said stop, obviously. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to lower your hand down as you let go of this thumb break. So basically they say stop. You're going to bring your hand over here, and you're going to let go with this thumb, the break. And you're actually just going to pick up the pinky break over here. Your fingers have to be covering the entire edge of the deck when you do this, and your hands have to be down like this. So the spectator's eyes are just looking at the faces. So this is all the spectator sees. They see, so call out stop anywhere, perfect, right there. So it looks like you've just lifted up about half the deck, but you're actually just holding one single card in your hand over here. So that's basically the illusion right there. So you're having them call out stop right over there, and then you're going to pick up about half the cards, but you're only just holding one card here. So that's the illusion. So you're doing that, and you're going to ask them to place the card back in the deck. So they're going to take the card, the 3 of spades over here, and they're going to place it back face down just like this. And all you're going to do now is just take your hand here and just kind of slap it down on the deck as you bring your hands down just like this. And now you can sort of dribble the cards just like this to show that their card is lost in the deck. But in reality, their card is right here, right on top of this joker. So now their card is pretty much sandwiched in between the jokers, but that actually doesn't really matter yet because that part comes in a little bit later. So now for this part, all you're going to do is just flip over this top single card. So what I like to do is I just like to pretend like I'm doing a double lift. So I just pretend like I'm doing a strike double lift, like I'm riffling up 2 cards and flipping them both over. But in reality, I'm literally just flipping over the top card. That's all I'm doing. So just flip over the top card and say, all right, so now we can get over to the 2 jokers over here. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the top card off, and then you're going to peel off the next card and place it on top of the joker, just like this. And this card is actually the spectator selection, the 3 of spades, and the joker is right there on the bottom. So now you can square up these cards, and you're going to hold them in biddle grip, because now what you're going to do is called a frustration count. You're going to flip over your hand just like this, and then peel off the top card and flip over your hand again. And it looks like you're showing 2 jokers, 1, 2, but in reality, you're just showing the bottom card 2 times. That's all you're doing, and you're hiding that 3 of spades. So you're just going to go 1, peel off, 2, put it on top, and then kind of split them apart and move this joker. Just make sure to put this card back on the bottom, just like this. So make sure to just put it back on the bottom. So you go 1, 2, and then split them apart and put this card back on the bottom. That's all you have to do. And you do this as you explain what's going to happen in the trick, where you're basically going to attempt to catch their card in between the jokers, and you can flash that joker one more time. One thing that I did in the performance that you guys can do, this is totally optional. What I did was I actually flipped over both the cards just face up in my hand, held them in mechanics grip just like this. Then I came over with my right hand and I put my 4 fingers on the back and my thumb on the front. What I did was, as I flipped over my hand, I was going to take my entire wrist, turn it over. As I do that, I'm actually going to pull my 4 fingers in, and my thumb is going to push out. And I do that as I flip over just like this. And what this does is it actually kind of creates the illusion that this card is the joker that you just showed. And now what you're going to do is you're going to flip over this card, and it's going to look like you now have 2 jokers. So you're going to go like this. You're going to go 1, 2, like that. And it kind of just looks like you're showing 2 different cards like this. But in reality, you're just showing the bottom card. And then you're just showing the bottom card again. So that's pretty much all you're doing right there. So now you're going to come over here, and you're actually going to catch a thumb break as you do that. So you're going to catch a thumb break, separating the 2 cards from each other. Now what you're going to do is you're going to line up these 2 cards with the deck, and you're going to drop off that thumb break. You're just going to drop it off, let it go as you come away with the deck, and you're actually going to point to the spectator and say, remind me what your card was again? 3 of spades, right? Perfect. So now you're actually going to take the deck, set it down on the table, and you have to pretend like this is 2 cards, but now you're only holding a single card, and it's actually just their selection. But you have to still pretend like you're holding 2 cards. So you're just gonna try and hold these 2 cards here very, very carefully together, just like this. So now all you're doing here is just acting. So you're just gonna dribble through the cards a couple of times, and you're gonna pretend like you're looking for the 3 of spades. You can do some acting, like say, oh, I think your card's about 34 cards down, or whatever. You guys can say like whatever numbers, make up whatever dialogue you want to do. And also make sure not to flash the 2 jokers, because they are actually on top of the deck. So just be sure not to flash them when you dribble. How I like to dribble is I just like to pick up about half the cards when I dribble. I don't actually pick pick up the entire deck and drop it because that might flash the jokers. So I only pick up about half the deck when I do it, and I dribble just like this. When the time is right, you're just gonna go 1, 2, 3. You're just gonna move your hand into the deck and then pull it right back out. And that's all you're gonna do. You're gonna say, what was your card? 3 of spades, and all I do here is I just kind of let the card fall off of my fingers here, so I just kind of let it flip over off my fingers, and I close this hand and I open both the hands as I drop it, and that's just like a really cool magician action right there. And it looks really cool because it looks like the jokers have just completely vanished out of nowhere and their card is just there. So now you can hand out this card to examine, and the trick is almost done. They actually think this is like the end of the trick. They might not even remember anything about the beginning, but you're gonna hand this card out and you're gonna actually riffle off the top 2 cards here from the deck, or the bottom 2 cards here, just like this. You're gonna riffle off 2 cards. These 2 cards are the jokers, and you're gonna catch a pinky break just like this. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna put these into a cop position. Now what you're gonna do here is you're gonna hold a pinky break, you're gonna bring the entire deck back, still holding the break, and then take all the cards above the break and move them forward in your hand. So you're just taking the 2 cards and leaving them sort of like back in your hand over here. Now you're going to spread out the cards, just showing all the cards here are completely normal. And you have to practice this part in front of a mirror because you have to be able to hide these 2 cards in your hand. You do not want them to see these 2 cards at all. So you have to practice this part in front of a mirror. So just say, all right, so you guys could have picked any of these cards. And then once you're ready, you're going to actually move your hand down with the 2 cards here. You're going to move your hand down, concealing these 2 cards. Just kind of drop it to your side, like it doesn't really matter. Spread these cards out on the table, grab the card back from the spectator or from the table, it doesn't really matter. And what you're gonna do here is just you kind of have to use misdirection. You kind of just have to talk to the spectator. So you kind of just have to be like, so now remember from the beginning of the trick, and just look them in the eyes when you do this, because what you're gonna have to do here is you're actually gonna have to place this card on top of the 2 jokers in your hand. So don't worry guys, the spectators will not be looking at your hands during this part because it's just very calm. It just looks like you're taking the card, picking it up just to show it off a little bit more, but all you're doing is you're just putting the card here on top of the jokers, and that's all you have to do. So just use some misdirection there and you'll be perfectly fine. So now what you have to do is just act like this is one single card. So what I do is I grab it on the side here and I kind of just give it like a little flick with my thumb. Not too much because then the cards will separate, but just a little bit so that it kind of gives the illusion that this is one card. So I flick it and I say, now I did promise you guys in the beginning that I would catch this card in between the 2 jokers. And what you're gonna do now is hold the cards just like this, sort of in Biddle grip like this. What's gonna happen is this, you're gonna actually take the bottom card here and you're gonna slide it out to the right. Now your hand is actually gonna be able to hold onto this card here, and you're actually gonna be able to take it out, and what you're gonna do is you're actually gonna bring it up and put it on top of this 3 of spades as you lift up your hand and then turn the entire packet over just like this. So all you're doing is moving this bottom card from the bottom and secretly putting it on top as you flip over the pack. That's all you have to do. And you practice this in front of a mirror and it will be completely invisible to the spectator. Like honestly, that will be completely invisible. They will not be able to see a thing. Now this is the most surprising part of the trick. So all you have to do here is very, very simple. You're just gonna shake the card. You're gonna shake the 3 cards here. Just go 1, and then when you say 2, take the bottom card, slide it out to the left over here. You're just gonna slide it out and then move this double. This is a double over here. You're gonna move this double up here and you're gonna hold it down with your thumb over here, and your fingers here are gonna contact that 3 of spades in the back. And when you say 3, what you're gonna do is you're gonna lift up your hand and drop it really fast. When you drop it, your thumb here is gonna go down. That's all you have to do. Just take your thumb, go down. That's really it. That's honestly all you have to do. So it looks something like this. 1, 2, and 3. And it just looks like that card just appears out of nowhere, and then slowly show and reveal, check it out, your card sandwiched in between the 2 jokers. And that is the entire trick. Now the entire deck is examinable, all these cards examinable, everything examinable. So that is the entire trick, guys. I really, really hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you guys for my next video. Bye.